Good afternoon, it's Tuesday, August 20th, 2024. Peace is a path to the prosperity of a nation. Let peace reign. All the news this afternoon. NLC threatens strike over terrorism allegation against its president. Police yet to speak following death of taxi driver by one-way driver in Rumosi, Port Harcourt. NSCDC reports decline in Mpox cases in Nigeria. On the foreign scene, Israel military retrieves bodies of hostages held by Hamas. I'm Ifichuku Moyle with the news. Now, the police has yet to speak after a taxi driver was killed after being hit by a vehicle that was driving against traffic around the Rumosi axis of the east-west road in Port Harcourt. The taxi driver, who is yet to be named, had parked his vehicle to pick up an item from a store close to a vulcanizing shop when the incident happened. The vehicle, a Formati Benz, also hit two tricycles, leaving at least 3 people dead. 3 people injured. An eyewitness spoke on this.
One taxi man who they drive taxi, we park and taxi for that place. Say man come buy cigar for here. So one cross, one formatic from nowhere, jam the man, for the gate, jam 2 keke, bend the 2 keke. I follow carry the man sef as the man body dey here. The man 2 leg don't paralyze. Blood they come out for him mouth. I'm not sure say that man fit survive sef because the man already has been put on for motor. The man I'm not sure say they breathe again.
The driver get injured. In there for pharmacy, there for cornerstone, they treat himself. And that one when carry for there, we never know whether he will survive.
The driver later died in the hospital. As you may know, the traffic build-up around the construction site of the Port Harcourt Ring Road on the Rumosi axis of the east-west road has seen motorists opt to drive against traffic. In another development, the River State Police Command is still mute after a student of the University of Port Harcourt, Bright Efiemi Erefa, was allegedly beaten up by policemen. The 27-year-old, who spoke to a correspondent from his hospital bed, narrated how the police flogged him to a coma with a rod.
Early morning, around 6:30, police barged into our house with a boy they handcuffed. They forced themselves into our house, broke the lock. When they got in, they asked if the boy knows any of us. The boy said no. When they were about going back, after they have ransacked the house everywhere, I decided to use my phone. I said I want to record you. I'm going to do a video. So they quickly took the phone from me. The policeman beat me on my neck. I was screaming when the other policeman used a 2x2 rod and hit me on the head, and that made me unconscious.
The hospitalized student said the University of Port Harcourt Teaching Hospital has booked him for a brain surgery.
I want justice for this case because this is my final year. I'm writing project. I will not be able to write. So by exams are coming, so this will also have a very big impact on me. Like when will I be able to read? Because they say I can't stress my brain after the surgery. So 3 months after the surgery, that's when it will heal. They have not done the surgery, so it will be on Wednesday. They don't have a lot in this our family. Even this family friends, and they have been supporting me. This I don't know how much is the surgery bill for brain surgery. I don't know how much.
Another 200-level student of Uniport, Emmanuel Erefa, also spoke.
Just want justice for my brother because my brother has always been a jovial, a very kind person. He doesn't look for trouble. So seeing him in this condition is really disheartening. So I just want justice.
Well, reacting to this, the University of Port Harcourt said it is coordinating with relevant authorities to gather all the facts surrounding the incident. Spokesperson of Uniport, Sam Beno, said in a statement that the incident involved a student of linguistics and communication studies at the university. The statement also said it is crucial that a thorough and impartial investigation is allowed to take place to address the matter appropriately. Now, a former APC spokesperson in River State, Chris Finebone, says it may be difficult to overturn the court judgment that reinstated the chairman of the APC in the state, Emeka Bike. Mr. Finebone made this known while reacting to the statement that Tony Okocha has filed a suit to challenge the High Court judgment that sacked him and other executives. He also said there is a limit to party supremacy on internal issues, especially when such issues infringe on members' rights. Mr. Finebone spoke on Nigeria Info FM's Morning Crossfire.
Party is supreme, yes, that is what our law says. For most of the major political parties, PDP, APC, and our laws recognize the fact these parties should be allowed to manage their internal affairs. But there's a caveat. There's a caveat because the party is supreme to the extent that it does not take away or breach the rights, fundamental rights of members. The moment any of the parties breaches the fundamental rights of members, such members have a right to go to court, and courts will duly assume jurisdiction and protect such members.
As you may know, the APC National Working Committee (NWC) on Thursday expressed support to the Tonio Culture-led caretaker committee of the party in Rivers State despite the judgment of the Rivers State High Court reinstating Emeka Mike as Rivers APC chairman. The Nigerian Labour Congress has threatened to go on strike nationwide if the police detain its president, Comrade Joe Ajaero. The union handed down the threat this morning in Abuja shortly after holding an emergency National Executive Council meeting to discuss the invitation of the NLC president by the police over allegations of terrorism financing. The NEC resolved that Mr. Ajaero should honor the police invitation, but noted that their legal advisor should seek more time for the NLC president to appear before the police authorities. Now, on day one of week 2 of Nigerian 4FM's I Beg to Differ National Tournament of Champions ended in an unlikely upset. Yesterday, 4 debaters made it to the quarterfinal. They are Omar Benedi Excel, Adio Afolari, Adepetu Adenike, and Mary Uke Ashia, whom the judges voted to retain in the competition. The judges are expected to save one more loser to advance to the quarterfinal. Mina Nengiofori, David, and Bedford Friday Fortune will debate on the topic: does the school prefecture system effectively develop leadership skills or perpetuate elitism? I beg your pardon, does the school prefecture system effectively develop leadership skills or perpetuate elitism? Oke Ojidelight and Oluwalade Demilade will face off on the topic remote learning versus in-school learning. Which method better supports student academic achievement and personal development? While the final debate of the day will be between Ajekiwe Mercy against Oguneye Ayomide, who will speak on should sex education focus more on abstinence or comprehensive knowledge of teenage sexuality. Now, still to come, NCDC reports decline in Mpox cases in Nigeria as Rivers State confirms cases. Stay with us.
Congratulations, I, Elder Dr. Malachi Ndubisi Epebu, JP, President.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has proposed drug testing for university students. The commander of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency in Kwara State, Hajia Fatima Abiola Popula, made this call on Sunday while fielding questions from journalists in Ilorin. Now, speaking on the reason for the proposal on Channels Television this morning, the spokesperson of NDLEA, Femi Babafemi, said the high rate of drug use among the youth is alarming and unacceptable. Mr. Babafemi said while some schools have adopted the testing system, other schools have yet to adopt it.
Both government and private institutions, they are already doing this. We work with them, we encourage them, and we also continue to push for those that are still not doing it to take it as their internal policy to ensure that students don't forget that this is not just about students alone, it's something that cuts across all other strata of our society.
Away from that, Rivers State has confirmed 2 cases of Mpox. The State Commissioner for Health, Ades Ore, said this during a media briefing in Port Harcourt. Dr. Ore explained the symptoms of the viral disease.
Number and varying size. It's a viral illness, so the individual can also present with fever, generalized body pain, weakness, back pain. Now, for a lot of people who may contract it, their body's immune systems might just clear the infection. But then there are some other individuals who may end up with severe form of the infection. We also know that there's an element of more severe illness in those who are immune compromised.
Dr. Ore also said the state is prepared to combat Mpox as the State Public Health Emergency Operations Center is now in response mode.
That have been actively deployed for all the response pillars in primary healthcare, at the general hospital and zonal hospital level, and at the teaching hospital level. We have, as at now, an incident action plan for we have ad hoc staff who have been engaged and trained to build capacity for the response across all the levels of healthcare delivery.
Meanwhile, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control (NCDC) says there is a decline in the number of suspected and confirmed Mpox cases in the country over the past 4 weeks. Mpox is an infectious viral disease that can occur in humans and other animals. Symptoms include a rash that forms blisters, fever, and swollen lymph nodes. The illness is usually mild, and most infected individuals recover within a few weeks without treatment. In the same vein, Rivers State Commissioner for Health, Ades Ore, has announced the closure of 3 hospitals, including one offering liposuction and body enlargement services for operating without the required certification and qualified personnel. The affected facilities are Adewa Hospital in Bori, Kana local government area, St. Thomas Hospital in Eleme local government area, and Caprica Spa in Port Harcourt. Dr. Ore said that these facilities lack the necessary qualified personnel to provide specific healthcare services.
The manpower who are delivering such healthcare services must have the requisite qualification backing, the requisite licensing and registration for them to carry out certain services. We have identified that even the subsequent surgical training required to carry out surgical procedures is lacking. For most of the surgical procedures, they are using unqualified personnel to deliver surgical services. Now, those are recipes for disaster. And so for everyone who walks into such facilities, their lives are at risk.
Dr. Ore also said the facility conducting liposuction and body part enlargement services will be prosecuted as the personnel are not trained or qualified to carry out such services.
We know that there is a booming market globally for organs. A place can portray themselves as providing body enhancement services, but there is a more sinister motive behind it. And that is why we will not say that it is purely for the financial gain of whatever body enhancement services they are providing. For as long as their doors are open under a false premise, meaning they are not trained or qualified to provide such services, it is therefore criminal acts that are taking place in such establishments.
And now in business, organized labor has called on Nigerians to be patient with the federal and state government following the delay in implementing the new minimum wage. The Deputy President of Nigeria Labour Congress Political Commission, Professor Theophilus Ndobuako, said this during an interview yesterday. The union said it would be unfair to say the federal government is deliberately delaying the payment of the new minimum wage. In entertainment, Jamaican dance hall star Buju Banton has traced his roots to the Igbo tribe. In sports, Premier League club Wolves have made an offer to sign Arsenal goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale on a season-long loan deal.
And now, we'll bring you news from around the world.
Israeli military says the bodies of 6 hostages have been retrieved from the Gaza Strip. A statement from the Israel Defense Forces (IDF) said the bodies of Yagev Bushtav, Alexander Danzig, Abraham Munder, Yoram Metzger, Chaim Perry, and British-Israeli Nadav Popowell were recovered from the Khan Yunis area on Monday. The 6 men had all been kidnapped alive during Hamas's attack on southern Israel on 7 October before being taken into Gaza.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. The police are yet to speak after a one-way driver killed a taxi driver in Rumuosi, Port Harcourt. The NLC has threatened to strike over the terrorism allegation against its national president, Joe Ajaero. NCDC has reported a decline in mpox cases in Nigeria. Rivers State reports 2 new cases. And on the foreign scene, Israel military has retrieved 6 bodies of hostages held by Hamas. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyeli. Many thanks for listening.